Welcome to day 2 of your basic training course. Now I hope day 1 was a success for you. I'm sure our instructors had a lot of fun teaching you, and I hope that you understand turning a little bit better now. So by now you should already know how to make proper right turns, proper left turns, as well as K turns. And you should also understand the basic rules of the road. Today we're going to focus on parallel parking. Now that's the scariest thing for most people when it comes to the road test itself. But we have a simple 3-step system that we're going to show you exactly how to parallel park any vehicle. And if you follow our step-by-step process, you're definitely guaranteed to get yourself into that parallel parking spot for a win. So today we're going to focus on making sure that you can understand parallel parking. So first we're going to drive over to our yard and set up a few cones just as motor vehicles sets up their course. We first teach you in a safe environment such as the cones. Once you've mastered that skill, then we're going to go to the street and find some real parallel parking. So on top of parallel parking, we're also going to make sure that you understand day 1's training. So we're going to make sure that you understand how to turn, both right and left, stop at stop signs, and also your K-turn. Practice makes perfect, right? So I'm going to show you on the whiteboard right now exactly our 3-step process to parallel parking. Our instructor is also going to show you as well when we get into the yard. So again, make sure you pay attention. Alright, we're at the whiteboard again, and we're here to show you our 3 simple step process of how to parallel park any vehicle ever made. So this is going to be our vehicle, okay? And this is going to be our parallel parking spot. Now the reason why we do parallel park is to make, sometimes there's not always a parking lot. So we're going to have to park on the street. When it comes to the motor vehicle road test, there's going to set up cones just like so, okay? The black dots are going to be cones. In real life, they take away the cones and they put cars instead. So there'd be a car back here as well as a car up here as well. This black solid line is going to be our curb, okay? So, like I said, it's a 3-step process. The first thing before we start parallel parking is we have to set our vehicle up correctly. What do I mean by that? So we're going to move our vehicle forward. The back of our vehicle has to line up with these cones right here, okay? From there, we have to make sure that the vehicle is about 2 feet away from these sets of cones right here, or the car. Once you see yourself in this position, that means that you're lined up correctly, and you're ready to start. So step 1 is, you're going to turn the wheel all the way to the right, and then you're going to back up. So when you turn the wheel all the way to the right first, and then you start to back up, the vehicle starts to turn. Okay? So you're going to get an angle such as so. You're going to be paying attention to the passenger side mirror. Out of the passenger side mirror, you're going to be able to see these cones. When we no longer can see any of these back 3 cones out of the passenger side mirror. So if we were to draw an imaginary line out of here, we would not be able to see this cone out of this passenger side mirror. Now we're ready for step number 2. Step number 2 is you turn the wheel straight. So you're going to turn the wheel straight and back up straight until you are about 2 feet away from the curb itself. So again, this is our curb, and when your whole vehicle is about 2 feet away from the curb, step 2 is over and you're ready for step number 3. Step number 3, you're going to turn the wheel all the way to the left. So you're going to turn the wheel all the way to the left, and then you're going to back up. Back up as far as you can without hitting the cones. And then if you must, you're going to pull up straight and line yourself up correctly. The goal is to get this vehicle in between both sets of cones, and you want to be at 6 inches from this curb right here. Okay? So if you followed all 3 steps correctly, no matter what vehicle you're in, you'll always get it in every single time. Again, just as a recap, our setup is we're going to make sure that the back of our vehicle lines up with these cones here. We're then going to make sure that we are 2 feet away from these cones over here. Once our setup is correct, now we're ready to move on to step number 1 again. And step number 1 is turn the wheel all the way to the right. So we're going to turn the wheel all the way to the right and then back it up until out of the passenger side mirror we can no longer see this bottom corner cone anymore. Okay? So once we're at the right angle, we're ready for step number 2, which is you're going to turn the wheel straight. Once you turn the wheel straight, You're going to back up straight until your entire vehicle is about 2 feet away from the curb. Once your vehicle is 2 feet away from the curb, then you're ready for step number 3. And step number 3 is you're going to turn the wheel all the way to the left. So you're going to turn the wheel all the way to the left and back up as far back as you can without touching these cones. Now, if you must, you can either turn the wheel straight and pull up straight if you're lined up correctly, or you turn your wheel slightly to the right to get closer to the curb. Again, the goal is get the whole vehicle within the cones and 6 inches away from the curb. Now, our instructor is going to go over this with you in our yard, and they're going to set up the cones with you first. That's parallel parking. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Again, first turn is to the right. Second turn is straight. Third turn is left. Don't forget it, and you'll be a piece of cake. So like I said, that 3-step process of parallel parking makes it much easier than you probably thought. As long as you follow step by step, you'll be okay. When we're first doing this, the instructor is going to ask you to get out of the vehicle multiple times so you get a good sense of what the vehicle looks like from the outside. Okay? The instructor is going to be outside of the vehicle while you're performing this practice for the cones, so you understand exactly how to do it on your own. So, follow along, let's have some fun today, and master parallel parking.